Wow. December 31st. Happy New Year's. Almost. Crazy thing it's already that time of year, truly. I mean, I'm blown away, man. Week 17 of the NFL season just passed by. Truly crazy that we're on the week 18. It kind of hit me earlier today when I was just like sitting there. I was like, man, it's week 18. This is the last week of like everyone playing the NFL, and then we start this whole. I thought about how like, man, we really start this whole NFL offseason countdown again, and like truly a few weeks. So it's like, wow, we truly got to appreciate it, man. We got some great football left to watch. Can't wait to talk about some great and not so great, in some cases, football we saw this weekend. Also excited to talk about, what else, man? We got some college football games that have been happening. Excited to talk about a little bit of the CFP. And then, yeah, pretty much it's going to be NFL Week 17. Mainly talk about NFL playoffs and what's upcoming. And then, yeah, we'll just pretty much prep for tomorrow for our final week of Pickem, where your boy ain't probably winning first or second, but we got a chance for third. Try to get podium in the year out in okay manner, even though we had a horrible beginning. And then give out some plays, give out some stuff for Week 18, man. Because, man, end of the season already. End of the season already. To start off, I'm just going to get this out of the way already. Almost burned my hat. I'm just kidding, but Colts lose to the Giants. Not even going to talk about the score. Actually, before I even get into that, to finish off the intro real quick. So the timestamp's going to be a little backed up, but shout out to my boy Aaron and Sophie, the Burnett's. Shout out to them for real. Awesome wedding with my boy this weekend. Truly was a fun and exciting time. And then, man, got some awesome football to go along with that. It was a truly awesome weekend, man. Got to spend an awesome time at the wedding with my boy. Got to watch football Sunday. I think I won my fantasy football championship on Monday. 2:58 to go. That Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. Won your boy the chip. 5th one in 10 years. Man, it's been the first one since 2018 when your boy hit 4 in a row. No, it's been... What a weekend, man. It was truly an awesome weekend. But then that led up to what I want to talk about now, which is these bastards right here, man. I'm not going to go on a big rant. I feel like Pat McAfee covered it pretty well if you saw his tweet or his show about what he said. And as a former player, I feel like he has some of the best insight as well. It's frustrating, man. I'm not going to lie. In my head, I have the Jonathan Taylor. I have that dance from last week. I just have the Colts. I'm going to have the picture of -3 for my fantasy defense. So I can't believe it won a chip when I played the Colts defense, and they got -3 against the worst team in the NFL. I mean, the boys just came out as flat as you can come out. Every big game the Colts have needed to win in the past few years, they just don't win them anymore. Just come out flat. Everything just seems broken. Seems like there's some things, a lot of things need to change. That's just the best way to put it. I was going to go on this whole big rant. I don't even think it's worth it. Defensive coordinator, if he comes back, we're going to be riots in the streets. And Ballard, I believe it's either his last year or second last year based on his contract. I don't know how they keep him at this point. It's just been a rough tenure there. There's a lot that needs to change. Just sucks, man. It sucks as a fan. You root for this team all year. You cheer for them all year. I mean, I'm sure it sucks for the players too, but I mean, shit. Cheer for them all year. And then you just get your heart broken again. It's just like, And then, I mean, the worst part too is it's like always getting heartbroken to the worst teams. Not all the time, but majority of the time. Like a few years ago with Carson Wentz, need to win 2 games out, lose them both. The last one's in Jacksonville, to Jacksonville, when they have basically nothing to play for. Lose to them, don't make the playoffs. Tyler Goodson last year on 4th and goal. Doesn't catch the ball. Colts miss playoffs. This year, just have to win their last 2 games and just have 1 or 2 things go their way and they'll be good. Lose to the Giants of all teams. They have the Giants and the Jaguars left who have nothing to play for. And they lose to both of them. And the Giants were playing for the number 1 pick. Giants are the number 1 overall pick. They had 0 reason to lose that game, and they dropped 45 on the Colts. Defense has been horrible all season. That was just a masterclass of it. But hey, shout out Malik Neighbors, that boy balled. Shout out to Malik Neighbors because I had him in fantasy. And that is all I'm going to talk about when it comes to the Colts. Because we're going to be honest. It's time for me to not talk about any of these teams that are in the playoffs so we can focus on what matters next week. So because of that, we're going to go back to Wednesday Christmas. Because I haven't seen everybody since then. So on Christmas, Chiefs win 29-10, pretty much a blowout. Not very good primetime games leading up to this weekend. Xavier Worthy played really good. He had 8. He's coming on, man. He's truly starting to become a weapon in their offense. It's going to be awesome to see him in the playoffs. And the biggest thing I heard is what they talked about this bit in the broadcast. Everyone's in their role now on the offense with Hollywood Brown back. So Xavier Worthy was playing Hollywood Brown's role. Now Xavier Worthy's back to playing his role. So you're seeing all that make sense. Now all of a sudden when you see him and he's having a lot better games, it makes you go, oh, okay. That makes sense. And, I mean, with how good this offense is getting, Chiefs get the 1 seed with this win. Probably not going to play their guys next week, and it just was an awesome win for them. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, tough loss. I mean, it's not too shocking, but it's the offensive issues with the Pittsburgh Steelers are starting to get a bit concerning. So that, especially with the playoffs inbound. I mean, if their offense continues to struggle this bad, they had moments. That's the thing, and they also played the Chiefs defense. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's in a vacuum. You gotta judge it there. But overall, I mean, their defense is coming out. It's not been good for a month in general. I mean, they have TJ Watts come out and said it. I think other players come out and said it, that they just need things to change. They need to fix things. So they just got some stuff to work on. But for the Chiefs, awesome win for them. They get like I said, they get the bye now in the number 1 seed. Everything runs through Kansas City. Man, they're really gonna three-peat, aren't they? Better put your tickets in now, man. Chiefs Super Bowl. No, but man, crazy. Baltimore, 31. Texans, 2. They get a safety. That's their only points. Their offense. Wow. I'm going to make sure to say this quiet so the kids don't hear it. They got their asses kicked. This was an ugly game by the Texans offense. I mean, basically, you want to talk about no showing. Baltimore, shout out to them, Michael Vick. Shout out to Lamar Jackson because of Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson passes Michael Vick to become the NFL's all-time leading QB rushing yards, and he has 1,600. My God, I'm reading the numbers backwards. 6,110 is what I was trying to say. I don't know where I got 1,600 from, my goodness. Or 16,000 even. 6,110 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson passes Michael Vick for all-time rushing record, and that's only going to continue to grow. So, shout out to Lamar, man. Kid's balling. The kid. Between him and Josh Allen right now for MVP, I would assume that it probably goes to Allen, but it's just crazy when you look at the numbers that Lamar's putting up that's better than his 2 MVP seasons. Just goes to show you how truly special this season has been for him. And, yeah, I mean, they win 31-2. I mean, there's not much to talk about in this game. They just absolutely kicked the shit out of them. I mean, it was absolute domination. Mark Andrews scores for the 6th game in a row, I think. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5th. Excuse me. And I don't know what Baltimore's going to do. I'm not for sure if they come out and said they're playing their starters yet or not, so we're going to have to see. I truly don't know what they're going to do next week. I think they clinched 2 seed, I believe. Not 100% certain, so I don't know who was all going to play for them. We're going to have to keep an eye on that going forward. But yeah, shout out to the Ravens. 31-2 win, just absolute ass-kicking. Seahawks win 6-3 against the Bears. Probably one of the worst football games of all time. It wasn't that bad, but it was for sure probably the worst game of the season. Weather was an issue as well, but yeah, the Bears just stink. That's my takeaway. Bears just truly stink. They got a bit of a ways to go, and they need to get this coaching hire right. We've talked about this now for a few weeks in a row. They have to get it right. They also have to fix some issues on the offensive line. And for the Seahawks, keeps their playoff hopes alive. I think no Rams clinch the division. Their playoff hopes are over. Never mind. It kept their playoff hopes alive at the time, but with the Rams winning, basically that killed their season. But according to them, some detrimental losses the Seahawks had. This is just from an article that just popped up. Week 9, they lost 26-20 to the Rams. Week 6, they lost 36-24 to the 49ers. And then Week 5, 29-20 to the Giants. If we had to say that Giants win is probably the worst one where you look back, it's just like, man. But yet again, they beat the Colts this week. So, hey, those frisky Giants, baby. Yeah, worst game of the season, though, by far. It sucked. And then, to follow that up, you had Saturday. So, I'll admit, Saturday, I caught bits and pieces. I was able to catch tail end of Broncos-Bengals, and then I caught the second half of Cardinals-Rams. But, yeah, Chargers won 40-70. 4,070-7, it felt like. I mean, put any number you want in front, and they won by that much. It felt like 40-7. I mean, this was apparently an absolute ass-kicking. Ladd McConkey wasn't drafted by the Patriots, and he put up 8 catches for 94 and 2 on them. Absolutely bought out. Shout out to Justin Herbert, who passed the Peyton Manning record for most passing yards in the first 5 seasons, which I was about to say is going to continue, but I don't know if he's playing next week either. That's going to be something we might need to figure out by tomorrow. Bengals-Broncos. This was actually a really good game. Sadly, I, like I said, wasn't able to really watch it. T. Higgins went absolutely off. I was able to watch it back a little bit, but man, T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. I was playing against Joe Burrow in fantasy, and boy, that boy is balling. Weird injury with Chase Brown. Wasn't able to fully see that, but yeah, that was just a weird situation. I'm going to keep eyes and tabs on Chase Brown. I think they said he's fine, but we will fully for sure see in the news section. Man, I just can't. I was trying to think of just that Marvin Mims catch. That was absolutely awesome. Bo Nix just, because this is about the point where I'll admit, few brewskis deep on the dance floor, chilling with the buddies, and it was to the point now where basically, I'm not gonna say the wedding's over, but we're to the 7, 8 o'clock at night at this point, where it's just like, hey, dance the night away. The bride and groom done everything. We're all just hanging out and everything. So I'm just sitting there, watching the game on my phone, doing some shoulder popping, and this is where I'm seeing the Bengals. It's like, all right, 4th and 1. They just need to get a shot. Have a few boys watching with me, and then Marvin Mims, man, what a dime by Bo Nix. Marvin Mims makes an absolutely insanely catch. They go to overtime. Bengals kicker misses it the first time. Second time, Bengals don't allow that to happen. They end up scoring a touchdown with T. Higgins, who drops a 40 in fantasy. I mean, in my other league, I'm in with my boy Jaron, who I talk about a bit on here. Guy he played in fantasy had 211 points, and T. Higgins was 40 of those. Sheesh. Shout out to Bengals, much needed win. Now they need to win next week and then have a few things go their way. And then for the Broncos, winning in next week. That's all they need. Rams, they won 13-9. They clinched the division. Cardinals had a chance. They were driving down the field with a chance to win it, like I said, and then Kyler Murray threw a pick to Witherspoon. Kind of threw a really hard fastball, bounced off of McBride. Pick, interception, game's over. I think they said this was the third. Rams was having some really low-scoring games, and they're winning, which is really weird for them. But hey, maybe that means their defense is starting to improve finally. Because, I mean, ever since Aaron Donald's been gone, it's been kind of like a void on defense. Are they good? Are they not? But hey, they've been playing some really good football as of late. Like I said, they clinched the division with this win. So I don't think they're gonna play guys next week. I would assume, right? I'm trying to see real quick before we move on because I will admit I didn't check into this, but I'm assuming they don't have to play guys since they clinch. Oh, they didn't clinch. They have to win next week? Oh, I'm dumb. I forgot the Rams were the team that had they needed to win and then have 5 or 7 teams win for them. And I think all those teams ended up winning. So Rams clinched the NFC West. So I think, next week's game doesn't really matter at all. I like how I kept second-guessing myself even though we just talked about it with Seahawks a little bit ago. Brain fart. Colts, Giants, we talked about that. Embarrassment of a game for the Colts. Yeah, I'm going to... We've been optimistic the last 2 years. Depending on how this offseason goes, your boy's going to come in with a different mindset next year. That's on me because I'm really upset. I got the AFC South division down to a T, except for the Colts, who I probably should have put in second place, but I tried to be optimistic with them, so we're going to be a bit more literal with them because, yeah, they haven't proved anything to me anymore now. Now they got to earn it. Got to earn the respect a little bit. It's been a few rough years with them. Eagles, 41-7, ass kicking to the Cowboys. Saquon is 101 rushing yards away from the record now. I don't know if he's going to play, honestly. The more and more it sounds like he might not play, which he doesn't really need to. The only thing is, it is against the Giants, against his former team. So I'll admit, I know there's no reason for him to play at all, and they should rest him. But for story's sake, and some of that stuff right there, him getting it against the team that drafted him and let him go in the offseason, getting that rushing record, wouldn't that be something? That's kind of why I want him to play. But A.J. Brown, funny thing for him, he caught McKee's first passing touchdown in this game and then threw it in the crowd. They were able to get it back, but all good vibes for the Philadelphia Eagles, who, like I said, have nothing to play for next week. Their seating set. They will just probably rest guys, and our biggest takeaway from this game is we're going to see, all right, Is Saquon going to get this record, or are they just going to prepare their guys to go to the playoffs and play some good football? Bills beat the Jets 40-14. I mean, you want to talk about an ass kicking as well. Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the worst performances of his career, and in general, I think it's probably one of the worst performances of the season. Very bad game by Rodgers. He played bad. That's just the best way to put it. He played bad. Bills win. They win massively. Raiders beat Saints. The only thing to talk about in this game is Brock Bowers has passed Mike Ditka for the most receiving yards by rookie tight end in a single season in NFL history with 1088. So shout out to him. Awesome record for him. He's been truly a star in what's been a quarterback carousel for the Las Vegas Raiders. Buccaneers, they win 48-14. You want to talk about a drumming. Mike Evans now, I believe, is 82 yards away, or 84. He's 84 to 86 yards away from the 1,000 yards in the season. So you best believe the Bucs are for sure going to get that because they need to win it in for the NFC South now that they won this game. And I mean, the shouts out to Adam Thielen. He had a decent game, but Bucs, all they need to do is they play the Saints next week, 13-point favorites. Winning, they're in. You can best believe that Mike Evans is probably going to have a big game next week. And as for the Panthers, I mean, they have the little hot streak in the middle of the season. We bet they're under at 5.5. So that should be cashing soon. I just realized that. So that's going to be sweet. But, I mean, yeah, for Panthers, they didn't. Not the best year for them. I mean, they had moments, and I think the biggest thing they can take away from their season is that they had a moment with Bryce Young where it's like, hey, he might be our guy. Titans-Jags, 2013, Jaguars win. Who cares? Pretty much about this game. That game was fun. Tyler Huntley played for the Dolphins. They won 20-3. I mean, Browns were lifeless with DTR at quarterback. I mean, he had not a good game. He didn't throw another I think he has no touchdowns. Either 0 or 1 touchdowns and now 10 or 11 interceptions on his career. I believe it's 0 touchdowns. He ain't too good, but the Browns are playing for a top pick at this point, so yeah. Packers, Vikings. Packers win. Just kidding. Packers lose 25-27. There was a lot of painting. What did they say? Lipstick on a pig is the saying. I mean, this game was over pretty much. I mean, it was 27-10 in the third quarter, and I believe it was 27. Yeah, it was 27-10 third quarter. They scored 15 in the fourth to make it a little bit closer, but this was basically. You remember the Packers game at the beginning of the season against the Vikings? Put that on retweet this week. Sam Darnold, the biggest takeaway from this game, Sam Darnold, probably the Vikings quarterback going forward. I mean, he played awesome in this game, and he's been playing really good this season. Sam Darnold's been awesome this season. He's definitely earned the contract based on his play this season, so I'm curious to see Vikings. There's no way they get rid of him right at this point, and now it's a winner-take-all for the NFC North, and we will talk about that here in a minute. Falcons, Commanders. Falcons lose 30-24. Sorry, I can't speak. Falcons lose 30-24. Falcons lose 30-24. There we go. Third time storm, right? 30-24 loss. Bijan Robinson looked pretty good though. Michael Penix had some moments. He had some moments where it's watching. He's like, all right, he has a chance to be an NFL quarterback. Now is that an all-star MVP level quarterback? I don't know. We have to see more. But it's at least knowing one of those situations where it's like, all right, he's at least probably going to get 6-7 years in the career out of it. Jaden Daniels, man. 227 in the air. I think he had 127 on the ground. In fantasy for me, I needed him and Jahmyr Gibbs to get me 55 points between Sunday night and Monday Night Football, and they got me 58. So, love you boys. But yeah, Jaden Daniels was really, really fun to watch. It feels like whenever the ball's in his hand, he has big moments. Big takeaway though for this one is Raheem Morris with his game management. Apparently, that's still going to be an issue for the Falcons. He's had his moments all season. That's been one of his biggest bugaboos as a NFL coach. It's just his time management issues. It look like that's potentially going to continue. So that's at least we got that to look forward to if you're a Falcons fan. But it looks like there's going to be some hope, though. I mean, like I said, Penix looked like he was pretty good. If they win next week and the Bucs lose, they get a chance at the division. But the only issue is, who do they play? I think they play somebody. Isn't it the Panthers? Oh, yeah. They should have won that game, realistically. But We will see. Great win for the Commanders. Man, Olamide Zaccheaus for a touchdown against his former team. He had a really good game. Jane Daniels, man, he's just truly special. And he also surpassed Robert Griffin III for most rushing yards by rookie QB. I believe they have to play next week because they have better seating on the line. And they play the Cowboys. So, I don't know who the Cowboys are going to be playing. They might even try out Trey Lance out there. So, we are going to be probably betting on the Commanders. And then Monday Night Football. Banger. Like I said, I was so scared going into this fantasy-wise. I'm like, man, how much is Jahmyr Gibbs going to play? Campbell played his guys the whole time. I credit to him. They actually went out there and tried to win the game. Not only did they win the game, they covered. And you were able to get them plus money at one point because they kept going down. Brock Purdy looked pretty good in this game. There was I forget when he threw the pick in the third quarter or in the second half, but I can't remember if it was late third, early fourth, but there was a time where Purdy kind of got a little pick happy. He basically threw two of them. But first half, I mean, Purdy was lights out. They were looking awesome. It was just back, forth. I think the first 5 possessions were touchdowns. Jamison Williams, awesome trick plays. They even had a cool hook and ladder on third down that, immediately setting up, you're sitting there, and I'm like, man, that guy's going to tackle him, right? And then it just showed, I would love to see Jamison Williams speed in person. Because just to see, like, on the TV angle, when you saw the hook and ladder, I'm like, okay, at least a guy or two might have an angle. And he runs past both of them. It's like, oh, that boy quick. And they were talking about on the broadcast how he might have 4.1 speed. If that's the case, man, that would not be a fun guy to tackle in open space when he's running straight ahead. Man, can't get an angle on that guy, huh? Sam Laporta scores a touchdown as well. Amon-Ra scores a touchdown. I mean, like I said, I had to wait till basically 2:58 to get my touchdown with Gibbs. Ended up being the 30-yard rusher that won me fantasy. That was stressful to wait for. You're sitting there, it's like, come on. I was almost giving up, I won't lie. So I'd be like, man, at least I get $50 per second. And then he just, whoop, out the side. And it's like, let's go. But yeah, this was just a truly awesome game to watch. Truly, it's just back and forth fun. But this game meant nothing. This game truly meant nothing, and we got a fun game out of it. Jahmyr Gibbs, 117 rushing. He had 4 receptions as well. James Williams, 5 receptions for 77 yards. Also had a little bit of rushing. He ended up with -2 rushing, but he did have the touchdown, so that's hilarious. Honestly, that is probably... I wonder if that's ever happened before. A guy has negative rushing yards, but I guess probably some quarterbacks, right? Yeah, all right. Well, that kind of answers that question, huh? Yeah, those are for Week 17. We'll talk Week 18 tomorrow when we go over some more NFL games. There's a few games that matter, a few that don't, so should be a quick little burn through that. But now to go over some NFL news before we go through some playoff situations and all that. Apparently multiple teams are doing homework for Gruden. I would love Gruden on the Colts at this point because I think they need a culture change, and he seems like I know he's a bit controversial, but honestly, he's the type of guy that Bears, Jets, Saints are the teams with head coach vacancies. But no, he's the type of guy that would set a culture and everything. Now, it wasn't the best end with the Raiders, but like I said, that's the type of guy that I would love that type of guy for the Colts right now. Love Shane Steichen to death, but man, tough. Very curious though if Gruden ends up coming back. That would be probably... sure it'd be better than some coaches we have, honestly, because coaching in the NFL is starting to take a bit of a slide. 49ers never said Shanahan and Lynch aren't going anywhere. That makes sense. This was just a year of hell from them. Lions versus Vikings in Week 18 is fairy tale stuff. Like I said, winner gets the 1 seed and the NFC North title. Week 18 is going to be awesome. This is what you... Sorry, I just read this in Dan Campbell's voice, and it's just... This is what you're in it for, man. You couldn't write a better scenario. You couldn't come up with this. The fact that both teams are sitting at 14-2 and it's for division number 1 seed just doesn't get any better than this. This is fairy tale stuff, man. I added that man at the end, but I love Dan Campbell. I can't wait to watch next week. I'm kind of glad they did play their team because they maybe got some kinks out in defense because that defense looked a little bit shaky. So good thing they probably didn't rest anybody because now there's probably a good chance that they were able to hopefully fix some kinks to get that win. Purdy left with some nerve damage apparently. Apparently he's going to be fine long term, but he's not playing. He's already been sat for, according to Ian Rappaport, he's going to be sat for next week. So don't expect Brock Purdy for the 49ers. McCarthy won't discuss future until the end of the season, which makes sense, but I'm assuming he might come back at this point. I think Jerry's just going to run it back one more year. One more year. DJ Reed is looking to move on from the Jets. He said, ready to see what's next for me. Makes sense, dude. With how bad the Jets have been, dude, I don't blame him. Tomlin, Steelers focus on getting rid of their losing streak stench, which makes sense. Gerard Mayo said he's focused on winning the season finale, not the number 1 overall pick. I would say right now everything is in consideration. We'll see how it goes. It's trying to be present and win a football game, but we have to look out the front windshield and see where we want to go. I mean, what is he going to say? That he's playing to lose? You really can't say that. But Gerard Mayo's just been put in a tough spot, I feel like, so many times. The Jets apparently are interviewing Ron Rivera for their head coaching interview. No way. I won't lie. If they get Ron Rivera as a coach, they're going to be... And then also, they talk about Rex Ryan getting the job as well. That one I could... He's been out for a while. That one would be a bet better. I would like that one way more than Ron Rivera, honestly. Let's see. Is there anything really else to go over? Chase Brown avoids major injury. He could play in the season finale. By the way, this site came out with a banger article. Colts view Richardson as number 1 starter for 2025. Isn't that what we all thought? Okay, I'm glad we all agree. I just had to let it sit there. I'm glad everyone thought. I feel the same way. And that's probably going to do it for the week. Carson Beck declares for 2025 draft. Pro Football finalists, I guess I can go over that. Here's the full list of 15 modern era finalists. Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Jari Evans, Antonio Gates, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Steve Smith Sr., Terrell Suggs, Fred Taylor, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, Marshall Yonda. That's all those guys. Very curious to see who ends up making it. Chuba Hubbard ends up on IR. Shaquille Barrett goes back to the Bucks, and that will do it for the news for the week. Man, shout out to J.K. Dobbins, by the way, coming back against the Chargers. He played pretty well. Very curious to see if he ends up with comeback play of the year. Burrow's the favorite right now, with I think Sam Darnold right behind him, so I don't know. J.K. Dobbins is in 3rd place, but I don't know if he's going to end up making it. With that being said, though, let's look at some standings. Man, I won't lie to you guys. I get my hernia surgery January 17th. Cannot wait. Sitting in this chair sucks right now. But apparently right now, the playoff as it stands, we'll see what changes. Chiefs get the 1 seed. It's Bills versus Broncos, Ravens versus Chargers, Texans versus Steelers. And then for the Lions, assuming the Lions win, they get the bye. And then it's Eagles, Packers, Rams, Commanders, Bucks, Vikings. That's what we're looking at. Basically, I think everything's clinched up pretty much except for the NFC North and the 1 seed there. And then we just read out the playoff picture. Yeah, man, some of these matchups are going to be good, though. I'm just trying to think, like, what change we could see. I think, like, because the Commanders, they can move seeding potentially. I think is what I saw. Which would mean, I'm assuming that means they can move up, and then they can maybe play the Buccaneers, and they want to play the Buccaneers over the Rams. Man, that's just crazy to think that the 14-2 team is going to end up as... Actually, there's no way they can move up, right? Oh, they just don't want to be a 7 seed. I see. The other way. Because I was sitting there, I was like, man, it's crazy to think that a 14-2 team is going to be a team that gets the... Not a bye, excuse me. That's in the wild card. 14-2 in the wild card. Shout out to NFC North, man. 3 teams were great, and the Bears are the Bears. But hey, to all my Bears fans out there, Colts are just as bad with you, so. But yeah, Commanders probably want to, like I said, avoid playing the Eagles in the first round, so they're probably wanting to play the Rams, so yeah, that makes sense. I was looking at it backwards. Oops. And then I think all that's locked in for the AFC for the most part. I think that's going to do it for NFL. I think we'll come back tomorrow with Week 18. Because I just really don't know if there's too much more to talk about. I mean, the playoffs are basically set. We're just waiting now to talk playoff matchups, pretty much. And, I mean, can't wait. We just got one more. I mean, shoot, after tomorrow, after we do Pickem and all that and talk all the games, next time you guys see me, we going to be talking NFL playoffs. speaking of playoffs, let's go for some college football playoffs. Man. Shout out, by the way, Michigan. Up 16-10 against Alabama still. In the fourth quarter. Wow. I still can't believe that. That's crazy. But I'll be honest, I don't know who's playing. I think I saw Jalen Miller out there, so that's why I think it's a bit shocking. We'll go over some bowl games. So, Washington, Louisville, they're playing right now. South Carolina, Illinois will be kicking off in about 30-ish minutes of me recording, and then you got Baylor, LSU as well. Boise State, Penn State. Everyone I've listened to and everything, they're taking Penn State for obvious reasons. They're just a better team, all that. I think I want to take Boise, but I think I did end up betting Boise, but I'm probably not going to give out anything in this game. I will give out the over, but past that, I'm probably just going to end up with Penn State somehow. I don't know. I want Boise State to win. I feel like there is a small bit of a chance, but at the same time, it's also like, who's going to do anything outside of Ashton Jeanty? So that's the part that kind of has me a bit worried. But looking back at some bowl games, because like I said, tomorrow when I'm on, we'll kind of talk about Penn State, Boise State, what happened. And then we'll get a preview Texas, Arizona State, Ohio State, Oregon, and Notre Dame, Georgia. And then we'll have the Thursday game. We'll have Duke, Ole Miss, North Texas, Texas State. We got a few more bowl games to go over. There's a few. But we last talked, Christmas? So it'll be the 25th. So, yeah, we talked. So it'd be Pittsburgh, Toledo. Toledo beats Pitt in 6 overtimes. I thought Pitt's coach had a horrible decision-making. They're 4th and goal on the 1, basically. So instead of 4th and goal on the 1, going for it to win the game. Like, if they score a touchdown, they won the game. Instead of doing that, he kicks a field goal to go to overtime, and 6 overtimes later, they end up losing. I truly do not get why he didn't go for it for the 1 instead of just, hey, let's play overtime. Especially in a bowl game, I just didn't get it. Kansas State wins 44-41 over Rutgers. They end up making a bit of a magical comeback. Arkansas State beats Bowling Green. Navy, man, they beat Oklahoma 21-20. This I'm okay with because Oklahoma, they scored the touchdown. They went for 2 to win it, and they end up not getting it. But I'm okay with that decision. For Oklahoma, it's a pretty tough loss, so I'm not going to lie. I understand it's Navy. Navy probably played a lot of their guys, all that, but you're Oklahoma, man. You shouldn't be losing to Navy, right? That's how I would feel personally as a fan, so I understand it's bowl game, a little different, so I'm not going to do too much. But shout out to Navy, man. Horvath had a 95-yard touchdown run. That was awesome. I mean, dude was scooting. How many rush yards did he end up with? He ended up with 90. That's pass yards. Oops, I was about to say he ended up with 155 rushing yards with 95 meters long. And that's counting sacks. I don't know how many sacks he took, but Georgia Tech, they lose 27-35 Vanderbilt. Tough loss for that. From boys, man. Georgia Tech was a fun ride this year. We had their over at the beginning of the season. Had them to start off the year in week 0, and man, what a magical journey it was to take them a lot of the games. Man. Shout out Brent Key. That dude a dog. Arkansas beats Texas Tech. That's a game I wish I took, but I didn't. Syracuse, winners get washed. They win 52-35. Winners get washed. They end up, I think, pushing, depending on when you got the line. I got it at 17 a few days later. It was 16.5 at one point. So, for some people, won by the hook. It was even at 18.5 in some other books, so you potentially even lost it. Everyone got... What was that? That was weird. How was that? But no, you got all 3 versions of this game, potentially, depending on where you got it at. Some people got a winner, some people got a push, other people got a loser, which is very rare in the betting world. That you get all 3 sides with one team. Texas A&M, USC. 35-31 victory for USC. Not gonna lie to you, didn't really watch the game because I was prepping for the wedding at that point. UConn beats North Carolina 27-14. Within minutes, you really saw all right, this is who showed up and really wanted to play. Shout out to UConn, big awesome season for them for that. Nebraska beats Boston College 20-15. TCU wins 34-3 over Louisiana. I admit both these games I saw very little of because I was at a wedding at the time and I haven't got a chance to look back. Cam Ward played the first half. By the way, my opinion of it, don't mind it. If he came out and they kind of already said they're going to play it, feel it out and all that, I mean, I don't mind it then. If that was already the plan, then And then him not coming back in makes sense. He was already out with the game, no reason to go back I don't know. I just don't mind it. I mean, it just looks bad because they lost. That's the only thing that stinks for him. Miami of Ohio, though. They win 43-17 over Colorado State. Spanked that ass. Shout out to Miami of Ohio. Closing out the season. Awesome for us there. East Carolina, NC State. East Carolina wins the Military Bowl. Ref ends up roughed up, though. I think he gets a cut under his eye and a gash. Have a bit of a crazy fight because a player took up another player's towel. Always fighting for some towels out there. Very, very tough battle there. Didn't really get to watch too much of that game, but I was able to see that playback. Colorado gets an ass beat 36-14 by BYU. I'll admit, didn't get a lick of this game, sadly, because I was at the wedding. I was trying to think of where was I? Oh, yeah, wedding. I just saw they were down big about a bit towards the end. I forget when this game started, but when I saw they were like already losing that big, I'm like, who cares? I'm not going to watch it then. Not even going to look back at it. Heard Shadur played not too good either, so it's like, all right, there's nothing to get from that game. So BYU showed up. They wanted it more. They played better. So shout out to them. They won 36-14. Kicked that ass, like I said. And, hey, shout out to Colorado, Shadur, Travis Hunter, Dion, all of them. They made Colorado special these last 2 seasons. Very curious to see how now Colorado moves forward with Travis Hunter and Shadur being gone. And then you got Army, Louisiana Tech. Army wins 27-6. Never a doubt there. I think the only thing I'm mad at myself for is I want to take Bryson Daly 2 times and 3-time touchdown scorer. But that was the one play that I was a little bit sad about for the wedding. Because I was just there, wasn't even thinking about it. And by the time I realized what was going on with it, I'm like, just missed out on taking Bryson Daly one last time. And that hurts my heart, man. Last pick and last bowl game to catch up on and last pick we gave out was Missouri. Missouri, I ended up getting it at the money line because it dropped from 2.5 to the money line was like minus 110. They beat Iowa 27-24. This game could have really gone either way, honestly. A lot of these bowl games seemed like who ends up having the ball last wins. Missouri ends up getting 2 field goals late in the fourth quarter to win it. Offense slows down a bit for Iowa, but with Brendan Sullivan out there, maybe there's some promise for Iowa because I'm pretty sure he's going to be the guy next year. So let's see if that's, I believe. I don't know if that's a for sure, but they at least got a look at him moving forward in that offense. Man, I'm excited. College football playoffs tonight. There's truly going to be, I don't know. We'll have to see. This game might be a blowout. Also, could be a close game, but probably going to be a blowout, right? Quickly go over some college news. Miami fires their DC. Not very shocking there. And then I think that's honestly the only thing I want to bring up. Cade Klubnik skipping NFL draft. Oh, what is he? Oh, he's returning in 2025. There's just a lot of guys declaring and everything. Quinn Ewers won't engage award. I thought that was Quinn Ewers something else. This was Conception. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's, I think we're good. I'm just kind of wasting time, buying time. That's going to do it for today. Kind of a quick one compared to the later ones, especially towards the end of the season, because, like, Week 17, Week 18, these are kind of a bit of dead periods. I guess we could end it with kind of going over the betting market of playoffs. I'll do that. We went kind of short today. But, yeah, I mean, there's just not too much to talk about. We skipped, like, half the games on the slate, and I won't lie to you, we'll be doing it again next week to probably talk playoffs because we'll at least, like, touch on some stuff like, hey, this team gets the first overall pick now. Patriots, by the way, with a loss, they get the number 1 overall. We'll talk draft order next week, maybe. Like, we'll do some of that fun stuff. But with that being said, sorry, I was trying to buy time to pull it up. We will go, we'll do Super Bowl last. We'll go backwards, forwards this way. So to make the playoffs, the Bengals are now plus 1,600. Broncos are minus 700. Dolphins are plus 760. Bengals need Dolphins to lose and Broncos to lose. Broncos just need to win. Dolphins just need to win. Bengals need to win. And, like I said, had Dolphins lose. Broncos play the Chiefs, who will have no reason to win this game. If they want the Broncos to make the playoffs, and most of their players will not be playing, so it's going to be an interesting one. I kind of want to sprinkle the Bengals at plus 1,600 a bit, because Dolphins aren't playing Tua or Waddle. And, I mean, the Browns, I guess the Browns also don't want to win that game maybe, so that's tough. Conference winners, you got the Chiefs plus 155, Bills are plus 260, Ravens plus 310. For the three-headed monster in the NFC is Lions plus 200. Eagles plus 320. Vikings plus 360. And then we're going to go to the season awards now. Look at some of the season awards. You got Josh Allen minus 420 now for the MVP. That just keeps going up and up every day. Looking like it's probably going to be his award, huh? Lamar Jackson's plus 270. Saquon Barkley plus 2,500. Burrow and Sam Darnold follow behind. Offensive player of the year, you got Saquon at minus 1,000. Jamar Chase is plus 2,800. I want to take Joe Burrow, though, plus 7,500. Lamar Jackson plus 7,500 behind. I kind of want to take Chase to hedge Saquon, but Saquon's not getting MVP. No way he doesn't get offensive player of the year, right? Oh, Pat Surtain moves to minus 250 as defensive player of the year. I'll admit, I kind of wanted to give him out over TJ Watt, but now that TJ Watt's plus money, I kind of want to. I don't know if it's him pulling away or if it's other players getting closer to them. I don't know what that is totally, but that's going to be an interesting award. I truly don't know who's going to win that. I feel like Kirby Joseph, he's not making a claim. He jumped right in there. Then you got Jared Verse. Minus 4,000 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quinion Mitchell plus 900. Chop Robinson plus 4,000. Looking like they're probably going to win that. Let's see. Latu plus... Man. All the way down there. He went from being the favorite to win it to, a boy last. How do we want to put... I'm not even going to bet off Jamar Chase on that. I was going to hedge Jamar... I wanted to bet Jamar Chase a little bit. I was about to put it in as we moved awards, but I'm like, not doing it. Joe Burrow for him, comeback player of the year. He's minus 360. Sam Darnold's plus 220. And now J.K. Dobbins plus 1,700. Awesome. I took him at plus 850 probably 2 hours ago. Disappointed. Now I know he's not even going to win. I thought there would be a chance he might be in the argument. Cool. He ain't going to win. That was a waste of money. Damn! Coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell, minus 1,600. Dan Campbell's plus 750. Dan Quinn plus 4,000. Andy Reid plus 4,000. I sprinkled Andy Reid, but it's probably going to be Dan Quinn, Kevin O'Connell. And it seems like more and more it's going toward Kevin O'Connell. But I wouldn't be shocked if Dan Campbell won. NFC North and the 1 seed, he maybe sneaks that out. Only 2 divisions left up for grabs are Ravens Steelers for the AFC North. The Ravens are like, I think minus, is that 20,000 to 1? Yeah. I think they win that. Who do they even play that they're that big of favorites? I'm just like, I mean, my God. Sorry, I'm looking. Oh, Browns. Duh. Damn, I just said, hey, Tua. I just realized during the news it said Tua and Jalen not playing versus the Browns like I just didn't. Man. Just one of them days today, boy. That's hilarious. And then Bucks minus 1,300, Falcons plus 800. Bucks probably winning that one. Super Bowl odds. Let's look at that. Super Bowl matchup too. I'm tempted to take. I kind of want to take Chiefs something, but we won't. We won't do that. We're just gonna end it with the Super Bowl odds, and that's probably what we do today. Nice little 30 to 40 minute, nothing too crazy. Chiefs are plus 360 to win the Super Bowl. Lions are plus 470. Bills are plus 600. Ravens are plus 650. Eagles are plus 700. Vikings are plus 800. And then it goes to the Packers, Bucks, Rams, Commanders, Chargers, all the way down to Texans, Broncos. Even Falcons have a little bit. Man, more and more it looks like it's just going to be the Chiefs again, huh? I do have some. I kind of want to bet on the Lions just for. I'm just trying to think if it's not. I want to bet. I don't know who I'd bet, truly. If you gave me $100 and I get a pick, because I personally right now I have bets on the Lions at plus 470 that I took earlier today with some bonus money I was gifted by FanDuel. Shout out. And then I also have Chiefs. I got Chiefs at a pretty good number like 2-3 weeks ago. So it's like, I don't know. That's just my prediction for. I think it's. I'm not gonna give a prediction just yet because I want to see the matchups. But I'm torn truly. I feel like it's going to be the Chiefs just until they lose, which is kind of what, like, it'd be, if they lose, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it all opens up, and that's just the hard part. I want to, like, look around and be like, oh, I think it might be the Lions. I think Ravens have a shot, but it just sucks. Until the Chiefs get out, it has to be like, guess I'm picking the Chiefs, man. All right, I'll just pick the damn Chiefs, but thank you all for watching. Thanks for the support. Really do appreciate it. A lot heavier on the info and everything at the beginning. Towards the end, we kind of just were having a little bit of fun messing around. But, man, shout out to my boy Blake Nydaker. Truly, really fun fantasy championship battle. Shout out again to Aaron and Sophie on the wedding. Truly was a fun time. Was really awesome. I mean, that was one of those moments in life where you just get to sit there and sit in the moment. You're just kind of like, man, I can't tell. When they were watching him be up there when she was walking down and everything, it was just one of those like, man, my boy getting married, huh? And then it's just one of those life moments where you look around and be like, man, this is all the love and the happiness in the air there. It's just like, man, this is awesome, man. Awesome, great vibes. And then, like I said, set it up in the perfect weekend. Betting went awesome. Won my fantasy championship. Ah, man. It was a great weekend. Now, we got to put all that aside. We got a New Year's. Hope everyone enjoys their New Year's. Then we look forward to what is to come, which is tomorrow, NFL Week 18 Pick'em. Final Pick'em of the season. Wow. Final Pick'em of the season. And then we also got NFL plays, college football playoff plays, along with the finishing of the bowl games. And then, man, we're off to the weekend. And tomorrow, January 1st, we start a new year. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for support. Hope everyone has a good New Year's. And I will see everyone back in this feed tomorrow, like I said, to go for Pick'em and everything. Man. And I'll see probably everyone Thursday on Captain by a Hook if you want to check me out there as well.